Good afternoon. Good afternoon, all. Thanks for tuning in to the E Factor, where we will be discussing entrepreneurship, tips, resources here in the next hour. I am Dr. Sharon Barnes. I am the CEO of ADU Advantage. I have been a business owner and entrepreneur for more than 30 years. Miss Latoya Tillett is also an entrepreneur for many years. And we are going to co-host this show today and share with you some of our experiences, our tips. I mean, together you're going to get information from us on how to start your business, make your dreams a reality. Miss Tillett has worked, with a startup company who went to multi-million dollars starting and launching a new product. I believe it was a water product. She'll be able to tell you about that. With myself, I've had businesses practicing law, doing real estate, currently doing ADUs, development, and so forth. And so we're just happy to be here today to share our information with you, inspire you, and to invite you to connect with us. So again, I'm Dr. Sharon Barnes with ADU Advantage, a licensed realtor, ADU coach, consultant, and trainer. And I'm going to let Ms. Tillett introduce herself and tell you a little bit about herself, and then we'll get into the discussion.
All right, awesome. Hello, everyone. And thank you again, Dr. Barnes, for jumping in with me today and also giving that beautiful pre-introduction of me. So my name is Latoya Tillett. Like she said, I am the owner of Tillett Realty Group as well as Tax Plus Financial Services. My main goal is to help my clients to create diverse real estate portfolios, that include residential, commercial, and international properties while maximizing their tax benefits at the same time. So I am an IRS enrolled agent. So I hold the highest certification within the IRS, which is what they give out. And so I am a tax professional now of, oh boy, I think I've been in tax and accounting now. Let's see, my son is 23. So I think I've been in tax and accounting now for about 22 years and in real estate for 19. So I can find all my experiences. Of course, I've done human resources as well as one of those career paths that I was on, really one of my favorite ones, actually. So that's pretty much me in a nutshell.
Yes, thanks, Latoya. That was a great kind of overview. Say all those years, there's so many stories, experiences, and growth leaps that we've taken
Yes.
over the year,
Yes. Tell me about it.
individually and separately. The definition of entrepreneur is basically the process of designing, launching, and starting a new business. And when you say
Mhm.
entrepreneur, people get a different, image in their mind, but it should
Right.
look as the first step in really formalizing a business idea, like say to design and launch something.
Mhm.
It's not the end because it should be the first step. Being an entrepreneur is a mindset, it's preservation, it's realizing a need and how you can impact our community and our society, and then bringing that to market. But it's also the
Yes.
foundation on which you build a business that can thrive and that you really develop into a true CEO. And I mean, we've been trying
Yep.
to get to that CEO status, but but with
Yeah, so what
with
people don't really get is
right.
when we're talking entrepreneurship, they're just thinking, oh, okay, I'm gonna go run out here and start this business and I'm gonna do all these things. Well, you can't be every position in your business if you really want to operate it as a business. Most people are just actually creating jobs for themselves. Because if you create something that you can't walk away from and it run itself, you've just created another job for yourself. And that's just more taxing. And then, the whole misconception of having the seven streams of income, that doesn't necessarily mean you need seven jobs.
Yeah.
That just means that you need to find seven income streams you could build into what you're already doing to make it less stressful. And that was the mistake I had been making pretty much for the majority of my years in business and everything. It's like, oh, okay, well, go get my tax license. Okay, get my real estate. Okay, I'm gonna learn how to do this. I'm gonna get certified in this, do this, do this. And I'm like, before I knew it, I got like 10, 11 jobs. And They all falling apart.
Yeah, yeah. And as you say that, that's really when you started, that goes back to the E Myth with Michael Gerber when he wrote the book The E Myth, and he
Yep.
says most entrepreneurs are not true business people. They're having entrepreneur seizures. They have something that they want to do, and they take that, and we are very successful at creating jobs for ourselves. The difference
Right.
between creating a job and creating a business is that when you can step away from the business, it continues to run. If you
Yep.
step away from your job or your daily task and it stops, you've
Mm-hmm.
created a job for yourself, not a business. So, and our goal
Exactly.
should be able to, to create a business for ourselves. And that's the people we look at. We look at successful CEOs and companies and going out golfing on Friday mornings and taking wonderful
Mm-hmm.
weekends up the coast that, we want to
Right.
get there and never really understand and appreciate the journey they've taken, the team they have behind them, and how they put that
Mm-hmm.
team together so we can get there. So it's not a one man show, and we're supposed to talk a little. We'll talk a little bit in this show too, a little bit about etiquette,
Right.
on the business etiquette, because even
And because there
though
is business etiquette, that
yeah.
is a thing. It exists, people.
Yeah, and it's like when you were talking about creating all your businesses, you know that when we have conversation, I think we both have been in like corporate America, and
Right.
I cut my teeth like in aerospace, and so there's a big deep organization chart, and so when I talk to people, it's like, okay, think of this umbrella, and so you want to create your umbrella as broad as you can, and then every
Mm-hmm.
spoke in that umbrella goes down to the handle, all comes together. Okay, so we do
Right.
have to have various profit streams, but we want to make sure we have our umbrella together, have our departments and things, and not just all this, combobulated. And then when it comes to
Yes.
etiquette, we walk into a room to network. We need to have a purpose and a focus. You don't just dump everything I do on a person. You try to see what's common and how they can help you meet your purpose, and you can help them with theirs.
Exactly, exactly. And I think having, a shortened pitch, it took me years to kind of perfect a pitch. I actually didn't, honestly, I didn't perfect that little pitch that I gave you guys. I didn't perfect that until 2 years ago, when I first started doing radio, because I had to come up with a way to give a summary of what it is that I do without going into detail about what all I do, right? And so that was a little bit of a struggle for me because I'm like, okay, I don't want to leave out the real estate and I don't want to leave out the taxes because they do work hand in hand together.
Yeah.
And I just had to figure out a way to put that together. So that's how I actually structured my pitch. I kind of made some sentences and wrote down some things so that way when you are networking, because you only have a certain amount of time to grab people's attention, either when you're networking or when you're working and trying to talk to new clients.
Exactly.
And so I'm like, how can I do this in 30 seconds or less? And that's pretty much what I up with, and it took a long time to do that, but it can be done. It's possible. I did it.
I
Sharon's
think,
done
yeah,
it.
yeah. I think one of the things that as you speak is that strategies have to change. I mean, as an entrepreneur, we have to be
Hmm.
flexible. You have to be open. You have to stay
Yeah.
in front of trends. As you stand in front of trends and you're trying to be successful, you have to be able to move. And what happens when we strategize, it's hard to do that pitch when everyone's saying, "What's your target market?" And it's like, I got three. Okay, it's like with me
Right.
with ADU Advantage. I mean, it took me a minute because here I am. It's under real estate, and I'm certified and working residential real estate and commercial, and with a large broker and everything. But now I'm niched into accessory dwelling units. So I
Right.
started off saying, okay, I'm going to help support and train the homeowners to build these units.
Hmm.
But then I saw there was a gap because the realtors that's working with the homeowners didn't understand. So I need to help train the realtors. Okay, then there are
Right.
investors that's doing it, and it's like, okay, I got three targets. It's all real estate, and so I had to step back. Sometime again, going back to the E Myth, we get so
Right.
busy working in our business, we don't work on it. So if I step back, it's all
Hmm.
real estate related. It's all serving my community. So it was about putting that pitch together to briefly say that. So I appreciate what
Right.
you said, but it does take time. And entrepreneurs, we do have to be very agile, as they say.
Right. You gotta be. Yeah, agile. You gotta kind of be able to move and maneuver a little bit because you don't want to get stuck, in your business as well. And I remember when we were working together at at the brokerage on our team,
Right.
how would we do? We'd be start off good. We're marketing and we're putting information out there. Then once we start getting deals and they start getting into escrow, then it's like, okay, we get busy. So now we're doing the busy work and trying to facilitate the deals and make sure that they close. And then they close and we're like, dang, now we not gotta go get another deal. And they say you're supposed to keep marketing. You're not supposed to stop marketing because you got the deal. You're supposed to keep going. But sometimes it's like, how do you do that? And so that's when we finally decided to hire on like TCs and have team members help out and things like that, because we had to duplicate ourselves. But this is stuff that people don't normally tell you about initially when you get into business, that you can't do everything. When I was younger, I felt like I could do everything. In my 20s, I could do all that. Now I'm like, you know what? I want to do this. And that's it.
Yep. It's exactly. And it makes it easier if everybody stays in their lane. But as you mentioned, especially now in this time in 2024, it's really about, building a large network that is not when I grew up, out of high school, out of college, in aerospace, going to a job, sitting there every day with the same people. Now I got to have that financial support, that administrative support, but they don't have to be outside of my office, right? They're strategic partnerships, their collaboration, their virtual assistants. So we have to think about, building our business with the strategies of collaboration strategies, VAs, and different than say our parents did. And that's the key right now to being able to really bring a product to market and be successful.
Exactly. That's so true. So, just that part of the advice for that first half of the show for you guys is, you may feel like you can't afford to hire anyone or you can't afford to do this and do that, but then at the same time you can't afford not to. And I did not understand that phrase for a very long time, because I was like, well, if I don't have the money to pay someone hourly, then how are you going to tell me I can't afford to not pay them? And then it's like, oh, okay, when you get older or you remove yourself from the busy work and look at it from someone else's outside perspective, is when you can really see like, oh, okay, I see that I'm missing money over here, or I'm shortchanging myself on this side because I'm trying to do everything.
Yeah.
And so it's like, yeah, okay, would you rather pay someone, if you can get a virtual assistant for a few dollars an hour, have them work part-time or full-time or whatever the case may be, you might pay $400 a month. Would you rather do $400 a month, or would you rather lose out on $20,000 because you was too busy to look over there and touch that?
They say, we always, a plate is always full, and then you get this phone call and you start, and it's like, if your plate is full and you're always busy and things keep coming in, things are going to fall off the plate. And if you don't have anybody there to help you, handle it, it can get out of hand. But we also, as we talked earlier, about creating systems. So I think when we come back out off the break, we'll maybe talk about some of the things that you can do without paying a virtual assistant to kind of leverage yourself. So we'll be back. Stay tuned.
All right. See y'all in a minute.
Radio has openings for 1-hour talk shows. If you want to host a radio show, now is the time. Make KCAA your flagship station. Our rates are affordable and our services are second to none. We broadcast to a population of 5 million people. Plus, we stream and podcast on all major online audio and video systems. If you've been thinking about broadcasting a weekly radio program on Real Radio plus the internet, contact our CEO at 281-599-9800. 281-599-9800. You can Skype your show from your home to our Redlands, California studio, where our live producers and engineers are ready to work with you personally. A radio program on KCAA is the perfect work from home avocation in these stressful times. Just type kcaaradio.com into your browser to learn more about hosting a show on the best station in the nation, or call our CEO for details, 281-599-9800.
And now, the voices of KCAA with an exciting announcement.
Want to hear NBC News or KCAA anywhere you go? Well, now there's an app for that.
KCAA is celebrating 25 years and our silver anniversary with a brand new app.
The new KCAA app is now available on your smart device, cell phone, in your car, or any place.
Just search KCAA on Google Play or in the Apple Store.
One touch and you can listen on your car radio, Bluetooth device, Android Auto, or Apple CarPlay.
Catch the KCAA buzz in your earbuds or on the streets, celebrating 25 years of talk, news, and excellence with our new KCAA app.
Just do it and download it.
KCAA, celebrating 25 years.
So we are back for our second segment on this afternoon of the E Factor, talking about all things entrepreneurship and business etiquette. And so I hope you was with us in the first segment and had some benefits from that. And we ended off talking about how we need to leverage ourselves, hire VAs, figure out how to multiply ourselves even on a tight budget. And so now I think this segment we can talk about some of the things that we've done that doesn't costs a lot of money. It's about building relationships, which is a key to business and to entrepreneurship. So we're going to talk a little bit about how the growth strategies based on collaboration, strategic partnerships, and how they can help you lay the foundation for you to actually maybe be able to pay for some administrative or social media support that you need. Latoya?
Yes. For sure. So you want to start it off, Dr. Barnes? What have you been doing?
Well, I'm just thinking. I mean, with ADU Advantage, we've grown and we have opportunities now. We're launching a new product line with the steel frame manufacturer. We can do simple ADUs up to commercial 10-story buildings and so forth.
Nice.
And we have, our modular developers. We have our contractors for stick build. So say all that is that I've been building relationships, networking, going out and seeing what the clients need, find the best resources, and try to focus locally so that we can all kind of work together. And so between my partners, their skill sets, their manufacturing plants, their end products, that if my client is very climate conscious, want energy efficiency, they want steel frame, I can talk to them, point them in the right way. And so it's about building that first system, is collaborating with people who intersect with your business, who can help you do more together for your common client and community than you can do by yourself, and building a way to communicate with them. So I have like one financial partner that, is just totally on it, communicating with me every step of the way when they're working and qualifying, trying to get the money in place. I have another partner that's ADU that's really a specialist, but you need to get on her calendar and get in front of her on Zoom to really move it forward, because she has so much to do. So you need to learn what they prefer, how to communicate with them, and how we can all work together as a team. So that first is, if you're going to be accessible answering your phone every time it rings, are you going to require them to go to a calendar, go to message? So Latoya, you can talk a little bit more like that, because you're more agile in that than I am. But we have to know our strengths and the way we can communicate and be faithful to that, as our first system of business is communication.
Exactly. That's really, really true, because I know I personally sometimes lack in communication. I do prefer like text messages now as opposed to phone calls, because sometimes, phone calls can go on forever and forever. I definitely love being able to be on Zoom, which has allowed me to connect with so many more people than I probably would have been able to do just kind of trying to work about it locally. Like I've come across my business coach, Dr. Tamika Bryant. So, have her helping me. She helped me kind of revitalize the foundation of both of my businesses and how to streamline some things, and has introduced me to new opportunities like the international sales. So, through that, becoming international sales agent and brand ambassador for Mexico, and creating a partnership with brokers and developers that are outside of the country to have different products to offer to people. I've also partnered with a financial coach to help on the tax business. So he's out there. Actually had at an event today, as a matter of fact, going out there, pulling in tax clients and everything for tax business and helping grow that, and also working as my tax planning person. And so it is very important to be able to create these strategic partnerships that will be able to help you, because you really can't do it all at the end of the day. I don't care how hard you try. You could stay up 24 hours and all you gotta do is burn yourself out, which I have done numerous times in my life. Honestly, I have, just trying to work and work and work. And then now that my children are older, now I can incorporate them into some aspects of my business when we're talking about keeping costs a little bit lower, than hiring like a full-fledged assistant. Hire your kids. That's still a tax write-off if you have your children working with you in your business, and it gives them a business sense as well, and helps them learn how to be productive adults. And so I've been pulling my kids in. I know I have one doing data entry for me. I have another one we're going to work with and talk to. Well, actually, the other two, I'm going to talk to them and kind of see where they feel like they would want to fit in as far as business wise, if they want to kind of tap into both or do a little bit more of the real estate part. So yeah, you can create partnerships all over. I've had virtual assistants before. The communication is even more important when you're working with people remotely, because you can't see what they're doing.
Exactly.
And so you have to be able to say, hey, okay, here's your list of, your task list. And I know we struggled with that in the past before too, being able to tell people what we need them to do.
Exactly. But there are apps and software out there to help with that. I mean, just like we're here on the radio, I can be there. She can be in the Philippines, and I can be watching what she's doing. Okay, and have the room set up. I just want to pick it back a little bit on what you said. The communication is great. And what came to mind is that, my office manager at the brokerage at Caldwell Banker, she's big on communication logs. When it comes to real estate, especially, everything needs to be in writing. So even I have a contractor, and if I get a ADU prospect that wants a ground up construction, I pass it off to him. Then first of all, I have to have the system to communicate with that prospect, get them pre-qualified, answer those questions, communicate to the contractor, but then he's emailing me every step of the way when they got permits, if they ran into a problem when they were connecting utilities. I know what's going on in that because of email communications. So I have to create, say, okay, I need to create a file for each of the clients under that particular partner and have everything go there so that we have chronological order and detail of communications that go out. And then if it's something within my will or my expertise that I can pop in and help lighten the load or resolve the issue, I'm able to do that, and it's all written. So again, it's getting down where we use our email manager, we use our social media, we use Google Docs to get organized, to put things in the right location so we don't end up searching for them for hours when a problem come up. So that's one thing I definitely wanted to piggyback on. It's just really, really important.
Yeah, communication, organization, all that good stuff, having everything together. I know there's so many new things coming out now. Another thing you want to think about, which I know we're working on now, is automating systems. We want to automate as much as possible some of those like mundane daily tasks, like adding people to your CRM. There's CRM software out there that can automatically do that for you, and get people into the right place and set them up on drip campaigns and things like that. That's definitely something you want to look into, because you're not going to be able to respond to everyone. And my biggest issue always was missing out on clients, because put a social media post out there and then I log off and I go on about my day, and then when I decide to go back and check the messages, it's been like 3-4 weeks. I'm like, oh dang, I could have made some money.
Exactly. It's like we throw the hook.
So coming up with like something that could connect, like a chat bot or something that's going to keep the people engaged, something that's going to funnel them into your your CRM, and then have a CRM that can tell you, hey, alert, you need to call such and such. This is a
Gotta
hot
follow
lead.
up.
You need to
Yes,
contact. Yeah, and following up
exactly.
is definitely key when it comes to growing your business as well. So
Exactly.
it's so much out there. We've learned a lot
Yeah.
over the years. It's
Yeah.
like, oh boy. And then now with the invention of Chat GPT,
Oh, we don't
which I
even
know
want to
AI
talk
has been around forever.
about. Yeah. So I mean, really, I think the point, so far is what I would say is to take an inventory of what you already have. That's what I had to
Yes.
do. Let's look at the tools I already have, the ones that I can
Yeah.
cut back on because expenses are getting tight or whatever, and then leverage
Hmm.
the one that I have. Am I really using it? Let me take time to learn that software because I went in and so I started, talking to more realtors, training and coaching more realtors, and I went into
Hmm.
my CRM and I found out that every realtor related Zoom meeting that I had been on and webinar, my CRM had captured all of those realtors, and I had
Wow.
3,000 realtors in my database with emails and names and brokerages and everything. And so now I'm looking to, start, saying, hey, I'm here as an ADU specialist. I can help you and your clients. This is what I offer. Go to my YouTube
Right.
channel under ADU Advantage, and everything. And there it was. So,
Yep.
we have tools that we're paying for that we're using, but we haven't explored every aspect. So before spending any more money, leverage what you already own and control. That's my slogan
Yes.
for ADU Advantage too, where we're building ADUs. Leverage the property you already own and control. And then earlier you mentioned about bringing your kids in. And I just wanted to say
Hmm.
one of the greatest joys and pleasures I've had is when I'm working with families that are building accessory dwelling units, especially for family and adult children, to be able to work with
Yes.
them. And we put, like, say, a living trust in place where that living trust works as the landlord, that it starts creating generational wealth for the family. They understand. So it's an
That's pretty
informal
cool.
business structure, but if you don't get some kind of structure and treat it somewhat like a business, you never get the full benefits.
Right. And that's a really good tip for people to keep in mind, because I know a lot of people, they probably don't even know you could do that. And,
Oh, yes.
have your trust act as a landlord. They may just think, oh, it's just for, putting things in there. And a lot of people feel like they shouldn't do a trust if they don't have anything.
Yeah. And and
It's like,
and
I don't have nothing. I don't
yeah.
have nothing. We got
You
to do the
know,
trust for. But
You
there's
know, I
always something.
practice. I practiced law for 25 years, and a lot of people in my community and my influence levels, they say, I don't have anything to put in trust, cost too much, I don't have anything. But that was before
Mhm.
HIPAA. And I will tell that after the HIPAA
Oh,
law,
okay.
okay, if you're an adult, you need to have a trust and have your
Yep.
directives and everything. And the thing about the ADUs, to be able to sit down with the family and document what the agreement is, say between the parent and the child that's building the ADU in the backyard, and
Hmm.
having their own bank account and having the separate documentation and getting everybody to agree. I mean, it's really a good thing. But it's if you're not a business owner or entrepreneur minded, you can start with your trust and start making a difference for your family.
Yes, for sure, for sure. That's definitely a good idea. Speaking of which, I need to be working on my trust, but we'll talk about that later.
Yes, yes. So the next, this I know we're probably coming up on a break shortly, but the next
Yes.
thing we want to talk about is a little bit more. We talked about collaborations. I think strategic partnerships. To really talk about that a little bit more and what that means and what it looks
Yes.
like. Would be good with myself with ADU Advantage. Of course, working with homeowners to build accessory dwelling units, they need contractors, architects. They have to get permits.
Hmm.
They need to get financing. An ADU can be a stick build, a modular, steel frame, and it depends on what the person wants. And every lot is different. So I have to
Right.
have resources of a lot of people, all related to real estate, but I have to have a lot of different resources to pull together to make a unique
Yes.
team for a particular family. And so you look for those strategic partners and what they do. And if you truly understand what they do and build a relationship and you know when to pick
Hmm.
up the phone or email them, that takes things off your plate. That's part of
Yep.
systemizing your business. That's part of lightening your load because I don't need to go down and research title. I'll say I can call my title rep. Okay, I'm dealing with with two living trusts that own a property and somebody that's up in age or whatever. I can call my title rep. I can call my escrow rep. I can call my contractor and get some answers, preliminary answers, so that we can have a foundation for moving forward. So we'll talk a little bit more about strategic partnerships and communication when we come back from the break. And hope you stay with us and hope you find benefits so far. See you shortly.
All right.
KCAA Radio has openings for 1-hour talk shows. If you want to host a radio show, now is the time. Make KCAA your flagship station. Our rates are affordable and our services are second to none. We broadcast to a population of 5 million people. Plus, we stream and podcast on all major online audio and video systems. If you've been thinking about broadcasting a weekly radio program on Real Radio plus the internet, contact our CEO at 281-599-9800. 281-599-9800. You can Skype your show from your home to our Redlands, California studio where our live producers and engineers are ready to work with you personally. A radio program on KCAA is the perfect work from home avocation in these stressful times. Just type kcaaradio.com into your browser to learn more about hosting a show on the best station in the nation or call our CEO for details. 281-599-9800.
And now, the voices of KCAA with an exciting announcement.
Want to hear NBC News or KCAA anywhere you go? Well, now there's an app for that.
KCAA is celebrating 25 years and our silver anniversary with a brand new app.
The new KCAA app is now available on your smart device, cell phone, in your car, or any place.
Just search KCAA on Google Play or in the Apple Store.
One touch and you can listen on your car radio, Bluetooth device, Android Auto, or Apple CarPlay.
Catch the KCAA buzz in your earbuds or on the streets, celebrating 25 years of talk, news, and excellence with our new KCAA app.
Just do it and download it.
KCAA, celebrating 25 years.
We are back. So hopefully you're staying with us throughout the segment where we're talking about entrepreneurship, giving you tips and strategies for building your business and building relationships that can be mutually beneficial to not only yourself, but your partners. And so when we talk about partnerships, they're a little bit broader than what we used to think about. Doing partnerships, it was always maybe a joint venture on a real estate development or something like that. Now we talk about partnerships when you need to see the people that you do business with or that your clients need to support their endeavors, whether or not the person or company fits as a strategic partner or a referral partner. And I think those two are very important because with myself as Forte as real estate, we are licensed. So I'm a real estate professional. I have a license. One reason I have a license is because you cannot share commission with other realtors without a license.
Exactly.
Then we have the lenders that we need the lenders to get the financing in place, but lenders cannot pay your referral fees, okay, unless you're a lender and you're with their company. Escrow can't give you kickbacks. Title reps. We remember, Latoya, about when we met. I mean, title reps used to come around the office, and
take us to lunch.
They would bring us gifts and calendars and different things, and then they would buy lunch, and they would be the first one there with the cake on the monthly birthday party or whatever. And they changed the law where they can't even do that. I mean, and even if they personally want to do it, people could interpret it as being a business type of thing. And so, the laws change. So as an entrepreneur and a business owner, you need to be aware of the laws, the rules and regulations. Yes. Do not ask people, to do something, because I've had conversations like, well, I'm trying to see how we can work together and, you can give me a little. It's like, no, That's
Like,
not
no.
how it works.
Right.
Okay?
That is not how
I'm
this
not
works.
kicking back. I'm not jeopardizing any license. I'm not doing anything. And so you need to understand that, because when we talk about professional ethics, you have to, know what the rules are, not put people in positions of jeopardizing their license, their business, or doing something out, or just let them know that
Exactly.
you really don't understand what's going on. Okay, it's
Right.
like we're not, you're not there for just a money grab, that you're really there to build a relationship and to work with them. And so understanding that referral partners may be able to send you more clients, but not send you a check along with that. Okay, you need to
Exactly.
understand that. Your strategic partners are, to me, the ones that are imperative to satisfying your customer requirement. If
That's
I
true.
have a homeowner who's trying to build an accessory dwelling unit in their backyard, they need a contractor. And
Mhm.
I'm not a contractor, and I'm not trying to be a jack of all
Right.
trades. Okay, then I need to see what kind of contractor they want. Are they happy with a company that goes from A to Z? Or are they a do-it-yourselfer because their husband is a contractor and all they need is a
Right.
little architect? Whatever they need, I need to be able to reach out and find that. Those are strategic partners that come together for a common goal to satisfy a common client, and we can all benefit from that in our business. So when it comes to your
Exactly.
business, you need to put people in the right category, have the
Mm-hmm.
right type of communication, and understand, and it makes it better for everybody. Now, Latoya, I know you mentioned your
Yes.
coach earlier, and I mean, you're in nationwide activities, you're in international, you have a network that's going in several different industries. So what are some of
Mhm.
your tips on properly classifying your relationships and communicating with these companies and individuals?
Some tips I have, of course, it's just knowing which bucket that it falls into,
Yes.
for your business. I think that's really the key and the main thing. Kind of like what I do, I prioritize, like, some things are separate, even though my international sales is still, it's still real estate, but it's a different department within my business is international sales. And then, so I have to keep that separated from my traditional real estate or my commercial, even with the tax clients and things like that, because now I'm venturing into international taxation. Because, of
Exactly.
course, if I'm going to direct people to purchase internationally, I need to be able to explain to them how it's going to work for them tax wise. So that's pretty much mainly what I do, is just really compartmentalizing people. I seem to be pretty good at that. And so it's like, all right, so this is this part of the business. So this is how, we communicate. It's mostly through text message and emails. I know when I'm working with certain people, I do like to ask them how they prefer to communicate, and kind of use that as my guideline to reach out to them and things like that. Of course, there's always going to be that one or two people who want phone calls or want to see you in person and things like that. But with my business coach, we mostly text and email everything. And I always make sure anytime I do any meetings that she's not a part of, or anything that I do on her behalf, I will send her an email kind of summary of what happened. Okay, this is what we talked about. This is what the outcome was. This is what we're going to do. This is when the next follow up is going to be. And so that's pretty much how I do it. I don't really have anything too much more detailed than that.
Yeah, and I think when we get into talking about putting together the collaborations, the partnerships, referral, we talked about VAs. We really,
Yeah,
have to go back and make our org chart, okay? And
yeah, you
even
do.
even if you put your name, if you start off and you do an org chart that you're the director of sales, you're the CEO, you're the director of finance, you're the
Mhm.
social media, your goal is to change that from you to something else. It might be as simple as a GPT agent right now,
Yes,
okay,
I'm so
or
glad you mentioned. I
or
can't
your
wait to talk
VA.
about that. That's going to
Yeah.
be the most fun thing ever. I've already had fun creating my GPTs. I actually went in because part of my coaching program that I went through with Dr. Bryant, she made me do an org chart. And I
Right.
was like, dang, I've never done one before. And
Right.
so, putting one together, and then knowing that I have the 2 different companies and everything. So I had to set up my departments and stuff. So I had my org chart done.
Right.
And then when I found out about the custom GPTs, when you told me about that, and I watched the videos, and I'm like, oh, okay. So I actually went in and started putting some names in those spaces
Exactly.
that I'm going to name my GPTs
Yep.
and have them do a lot of that.
Yeah.
Research and things for me, because now we don't have to spend hours and hours research. Because I know before, if you asked me a question about something and I didn't know if I need to put together a form, and it wasn't a form I do all the time, then I'm on the internet looking for samples and how do other people put it together, what kind of words, and
trying to figure out how to use Excel. All that.
And before you know it, you've been on there eight hours looking for one thing.
Exactly.
And so I love this this GPT thing that they have
and I
going
think
on now.
when we really utilize it, so in with accessory dwelling units and with myself training and coaching and whatever, and this area in real estate is kind of like it's on the upslope. It's like a wave, and it hasn't crashed yet. It's still going up. So GPT doesn't have a lot of information of what happened the last 3 years, but I can put in the information I have, my experiences, my client experiences and journeys, and come back and really get some great information. And again, like you were talking about, making the agent to realize that, okay, I need a social media manager for my traditional real estate under my brokerage. I need one for ADU for the homeowner, and I need one that'll speak to the realtor that's out there trying to serve the community like I am. So those are different tones, and to be able to do that, and just not forget to ask that GPT agent to help us develop that SOP, that standard operating procedure. So for each of those things, when we're having fun, get that operating procedure so that when budget, income, and activity match, you can hire that VA and say, this is how we do it. And I've been doing it for a year, so it works. Okay.
Right.
So,
I remember back in the day working at when I worked at the hotels, that was pretty much, it wasn't my job, but it's just what I did. Because every time I get a new job or I end up working somewhere, of course I have to take notes and, learn the position and learn what I have to do. And then I ended up just starting creating notebooks. And I didn't even realize at the time I'm creating standard operating procedures. I didn't even know. I was like, I'm just organizing my notes to make it to where, I can just go back and reference it. And so I remember when I got to the Beverly Hills hotel I was working at, my manager saw my notebook. He's like, what's that? And I was like, oh, these were my notes and everything. And I was like, I kind of just put it together. So, and it was the one I had started with, because I had moved to a few different properties. They kind of moved me around a little bit. And so he's like, wow. And I had become like the front desk supervisor. And he's like, do you think, like, if you gave this to another new front desk person, they'd be able to follow it? And I was like, well, I don't really know, as long as they can kind of read my notes, then yeah, sure. I was like, I can type them up if you want me to. So he's like, let's just test it out. And then before you know it, I was writing the standard operating procedures and, like, okay, this is the manual. This is how front desk operates. And they started using what I had done for all the new incoming front desk people. And I was just like, and I still at that time still didn't know that was SOP. I didn't really figure that out till like recently. Like, that's what I've been doing this whole time, because I always was like, what everybody keeps talking about, you need systems and processes. I'm like, what's a system, what's a process?
Right, exactly. And as you say that, I mean, we go out, like you mentioned, we have coaching, we go to webinars and Zoom and YouTube University, which I love, and you get out and they're all talking, but you have to stop as an entrepreneur and a business owner. You have to stop and determine, how do we do it here? Okay? You can go to all the training you want, and you still have to look at what they're teaching, what you're doing, and how we do it here, and document that so that, it's kind of like an onion. Eventually, you'll be able to peel those layers off and to become the true CEO that you're meant to be, which is to be at the tip of the umbrella, looking down, making sure everything is working properly. And that's the goal of where entrepreneurs should be trying to get to.
Exactly. That hits the nail right on the head. And then, another thing you also have to think about, like I tell people, people run out there and they start creating entities and, hey, I got a business, I have this, I have that. And it's like, nobody's thought about the tax implications of everything.
Exactly.
Or how they should structure. I know me and you have had many conversations about LLCs are not really our favorite
Yeah.
business type to set up for
Yeah.
certain people. And then my biggest pet peeve are single member LLCs when they come to me for their taxes and they're like, oh, well, why do I still owe, or why did I not get enough write-offs? And it's like, because you're a single member LLC. So in the eyes of the IRS, you're still just a Schedule C tax filer.
Exactly.
So you're not getting all those benefits. You're missing out on a lot of money. You're still being taxed 15.3% self-employment tax because you haven't structured your business properly.
Exactly.
And so,
it's really crazy. I was actually practicing law when they came out with LLCs, and it was a hybrid between a joint venture and the corporation. It's supposed to lighten the documentation and so forth. But again, you need to understand what the regulations are, because you need a corporation sometime, depending on your partner, to get paid. If you don't have a corporation, you're not going to get paid. We're up against another heartbreak. We're going to come back with our final segment, give you some final words.
All right, see you on the few.
Has openings for 1-hour talk shows. If you want to host a radio show, now is the time. Make KCAA your flagship station. Our rates are affordable and our services are second to none. We broadcast to a population of 5 million people. Plus, we stream and podcast on all major online audio and video systems. If you've been thinking about broadcasting a weekly radio program on Real Radio plus the internet, contact our CEO at 281-599-9800. 281-599-9800. You can Skype your show from your home to our Redlands, California studio, where our live producers and engineers are ready to work with you personally. A radio program on KCAA is the perfect work from home avocation in these stressful times. Just type kcaaradio.com into your browser to learn more about hosting a show on the best station in the nation, or call our CEO for details, 281-599-9800.
And now, the voices of KCAA with an exciting announcement.
Want to hear NBC News or KCAA anywhere you go? Well, now there's an app for that.
KCAA is celebrating 25 years and our silver anniversary with a brand new app.
The new KCAA app is now available on your smart device, cell phone, in your car, or any place.
Just search KCAA on Google Play or in the Apple Store.
One touch and you can listen on your car radio, Bluetooth device, Android Auto, or Apple CarPlay.
Catch the KCAA buzz in your earbuds or on the streets, celebrating 25 years of talk, news, and excellence with our new KCAA app.
Just do it and download it.
KCAA, celebrating 25 years.
Okay, this is Dr. Sharon Barnes here with the E Factor. We're on our last segment of the day, and so hopefully you've been with us during the whole show and have gotten some good information and strategy and support. And I just want to encourage you to follow your entrepreneur dreams. This is 2024, and there's not a better time to be in business, to start a business, to identify a niche, something that goes right down your skill set, your passion. Look at how you can monetize it, and mostly how you can serve others and be financially benefited, because everything is going up. We need to make sure that our families are taken care of. We need to have business opportunities and profit centers within our own unit, and within our own family unit, our own homes, to really help us, navigate this climate. And so I encourage you, you can contact me at adu@vantagenow.com or Dr. Sharon Barnes, realestate.com. And, please look at the YouTube channel if you're interested in building an accessory dwelling unit or looking at how we communicate and market our strategic and referral partners. And I'm here to serve. LaToya?
Awesome. And if you're looking for any information, if you need real estate and tax advice, including international real estate, you can check me out on my YouTube channel, and that's LaToya Tillett, or the at is at Rockin' with Toya. And so Latoya Tillett, Tillett, or you can check me out online, taxplus-financialservices.com or TillettRealtyGroup.com.
Yeah, so, as we talk during this hour about, entrepreneurship, I hope that you saw that we were trying to lay the journey from entrepreneurship to CEO. Because being the chief executive officer of your business is the ultimate goal. That's when we can really benefit our family, benefit our community, make a difference in educating in the society that we're in now. If we all put together what we're strong at, and if we connect that net and work together, it's a lighter burden. Okay, if you utilize my skill and my knowledge, and I utilize yours, it's a lot easier to get down the road than if I'm trying to drag everything myself. So I just really want you to think about that. If it's something, in your DNA that you just always wanted to try. I know Miss Latoya, she has not actually published her book yet, although she's written several with her notes. She talks about the SOP. Her SOP could be the Tillett business blueprint. I know she has a couple of other ones. In the last year, I have published several books. I wrote a chapter in the Business Diva book. That's a book that had 22 women entrepreneurs who was sharing their stories and inspirations. And so we went in and each had a chapter to write about how we transition into entrepreneurship and giving some words of wisdom. So that's something you might want to check out. I have another book coming out here probably in the next month or so on the ADU, introduction to ADU is a comprehensive guide. Again, I want to empower people to leverage the property they already own and control. And if you're a realtor, you can check out my book, How Smart Realtors Are Making More Money with ADUs, and that's on Amazon. So, reach out. There's resources. There's no better time to be in business and to connect with people who have already helped lay that foundation for you. Latoya, anything else you have coming up? Any of your projects?
Yeah, but we have our annual business conference coming up in September. It's called Teach at the Beach. That is spearheaded by Dr. Tamika Bryant. We'll be in beautiful Cancun. So if you have a business and you need to tighten some things up or just need some more knowledge or need a shoulder to cry on, you can check it out. It's TATBconference.com. You can register there. We're doing one of the first things ever. There's actually a payment plan available for your tickets. So go ahead, get signed up, meet us in Cancun. We'll all be there to help you streamline your business and also help you with your investment strategies. We're going to have the grand opening of a large Cancun development by our main Mexico developer as well. So you'll have some property to look at and we can help you get started with your investment with only $500. Okay, that's all it takes to get you started, get you some land in Mexico. If you want to learn how to be an ISA, I can teach you and get you certified. I am an ISA instructor, so you don't need a license to do this. And if you are a realtor, you don't need to leave your brokerage.
That sounds great. Especially if you're a true entrepreneur, you're always looking for these opportunities. And with ADU Advantage, again, we are just ecstatic to acknowledge our newest strategic partner, Coral Reef Development, where we're doing light grade steel construction from simple ADUs to 10-story buildings. And what I'm really so excited about is that we're here in Southern California and they have hotels and apartments and projects that they've already completed, addresses where you can touch and feel and see it's real.
Nice.
But they have not only the national but international reach. So if you're looking to develop real estate, build an ADU anywhere, please reach out, Sharon Barnes, at aduadvantagenow.com or SharonBarnes76@gmail, and I'll be happy to talk to you and see how myself and my team can help. It's been a pleasure. Hey, follow your entrepreneur dream. It's worth it.
Follow those dreams, and we'll see y'all on the flip side.
Have a great one.
The Legacy.